43 yes 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 maybe but yes.
This is well, what's up, guys? This is Chris and Fulton, and this is
Hello.
episode two of podcast 43, the movie
Um,
podcast that all y'all like.
America's favorite movie podcast now. We can go based off the analytics of our first one. I didn't know you looked at them,
Our six
but
streams.
we got 6 streams, and
Let's
all of them were
go.
male, and all of them were our age.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out to my homies at UGA Film Club. Um,
Thank you for the support.
but yeah, uh, this time I think we're gonna just do the same type of
Like
same type
structure.
same type of
Yeah.
structure. I guess we'll start before. Well, first of all, I want to say that the movie that we picked for this week was Andrei Tarkovsky's Ivan's Childhood.
Hmm.
But we will discuss that movie probably at about the halfway point of this, probably like 30 minutes in.
Hmm.
But first, we're gonna start with just
Our news
talking about
section.
news, just making fun of the state of Hollywood right now and other stuff. So
It's in shambles.
take it away, Fulton.
Well, um, I doubt this will ever be a movie that will have a full episode on, so we might as well just go ahead and get it out of the way. It's current, it's hot right now. It's one of the I don't even know how to it's New Mutants. I'll just get it out of the way. The latest X-Men entry, and oh boy. Um
Yeah,
yeah, so
so
we briefly talked about it, but I think we decided to wait for the podcast to
yeah,
keep
so
it a little bit fresh.
So full disclosure, I have not seen New Mutants,
Hmm.
and Fulton went and saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe it was your return to theaters, if you will.
For the first time, yeah. Um, to give you a little rundown of I mean, this is something that I was kind of interested in to know how theaters would be operating again now that everything has kind of changed the way that they have to operate. I'll kind of give you like a breakdown of how it went. So I walked in and they have like lines that kind of go everywhere to keep everyone spaced apart.
Hmm.
Everything's behind the concession counters now, so you kind of have to ask. So you can't really like grab stuff. They used to
Yeah,
have like yeah, so
candy.
um, yeah, they have it all behind the concessions. There weren't a lot of people there. We saw it in the Big D Theater, which is essentially like the closest thing that we have to IMAX, and
Yeah.
there were probably like less than 10 people there, which is shocking because New Mutants was supposed to be the savior, right? And
The hot property.
the hot ticket, yeah. And yeah, so we get like maybe 20 maybe like 20 or 30, 20 30 minutes in, and then the movie just starts like it's almost as if 20th Century Studios gave him like a scratched up Blu-ray disc, and then that's how it started playing. Just out of nowhere, it just started like stopping like every like 15 seconds or anything, and it went on. It went on. It felt like a really long time, but no one wanted to get up and go tell them that it was skipping. And
Mm.
then a buddy of the podcast, Andrew, went and told them, and then they stopped it, restarted it, not from the beginning, but they fast forwarded to where we were, and then we got a free ticket. So I'm
Oh,
gonna go
nice.
see Tenet on Monday, but I'm gonna pay for concessions because I do want to help out the theater as much as I can.
Wait,
I was, yeah.
Tenant comes out on Monday?
they're having they're doing like an early access screening stuff, so essentially
Hmm.
they're just playing the movie as early as they can.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
With that coming out, I don't really see New Mutants raking in a ton of cash. I mean, based off, well, no one can review the damn, like none of the major. I mean, it's getting boycotted right now. I don't know if we talked about that.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's getting boycotted by reviewers because Disney refuses to send out review copies. So if you
Oh,
want to review it, yeah.
yeah, that's always a good sign when the studios
I just don't think they
don't send a
care.
review.
I don't care, man. At this point, the movie has literally like they
They just want to
did
get rid of it.
reshoot. Yeah, I mean they
It's
did
literally
reshoots,
yeah.
and
It's
then they wanted
literally
to do more reshoots, and then it got bought out, and Disney was like, "No, we're
well well
no."
let's hear about other than the technical difficulties that
Yeah.
you experienced. Let's hear about the movie. Let's hear your thoughts.
I think conceptually there's a small nugget of something there that could be interesting,
Mm,
but in execution, the movie just felt super cliched. And I'll say spoiler warning before I talk about any
yeah, guys, watch
spoilers.
out. Yeah, don't you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
get New
don't want
Mutants
to. Yeah, just at the end of the day, it was very, very predictable, and I didn't really think any of the any of the actors really had any chemistry. And I think this could be a movie that would be fun to watch with friends, but I think there are other movies that kind of serve that purpose better than this one. So I
hmm.
just don't see a lot of people coming to it. And then I'm trying to like really, I think the best I could say is just predictable and cliche.
Did it feel
And
neutered? Like I always thought that like, before Disney bought Fox, I always thought
mhm.
that it was gonna be like another one of those like R-rated X-Men movies. They were
Well,
successful, but like and then it
yeah,
looked like edgy and kind of like in that vein. But
I see that might be it. It does try to be different, and I can't tell if that is a detriment to it or if it kind of helps it out a little bit. Because to me, it felt like it was trying to do all these. I just felt like it was actively trying to be different.
mm,
Um, which, like I said, I can't tell how I feel about it yet. I'm still really trying to figure out how I feel about it, but I'm not like contemplating it too much because it wasn't really.
like
I don't
Ivan's
think it's a movie
childhood.
that. Yeah, it's. Yeah, it doesn't stand on a leg. Maybe it does, maybe, but no, I'm kidding. But with see, originally it was supposed to be a darker film, and that's why they were going to do the reshoots because I guess they got the finished product that was like Fox's version of it,
Yeah.
and Josh Boone, the director, wasn't happy about it. And this is what I'm assuming. This is what I've read. And so they were going to do reshoots to, add in stuff that was more closely aligned to his vision.
Hmm.
And so that was, I'm assuming it was going to change the structure of the film. And there's something in there that I'll talk about with spoilers that I think may have been forced in there, but we'll see. Or do you care about spoilers with New Mutants?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
yeah.
well, yeah, it's kind of hard to beat around the bush, so we'll just go ahead and say like spoiler warning right now.
Hmm.
Essentially, like it ties back into Logan, and you
What?
remember you remember that facility that what was her
Tw-
name? Was her name also
20
Weaponette?
X-23.
Yeah,
Yeah,
X-23.
yeah.
It ties back into that facility. So essentially, mutants that don't know how to control their powers are sent to this facility. They're
Hmm.
studied and they're monitored to see if they could become a weapon. And if they are cleared to be a weapon, they can be sent to that facility, the Essex Corporation or whatever.
Yeah.
I saw that, and they literally used the same shots from Logan. And I was like, "You've got to be I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" Like, for y'all couldn't even shoot new. It was like and it's like the quality of a camcorder. Like y'all could
That's
have done that.
that's funny. Like, cause like I watched Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock the other day, and like they
Mhm.
used like there's like this one scene where Captain Kirk pulls up like it's supposed to be like security camera footage of like before Spock like sacrificed himself of Khan. And it's
Mhm.
just so obviously like they just took the clip from Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan, and put it on the
See, and like
security.
that. Well, that's pretty awesome. Actually, I shouldn't get mad at them for. But you see, like, even that's my thing. I can't tell if that was shoehorned in there because of Fox or because I felt like if it just would have been its own thing, it probably would have been better. But then
Yeah,
it tried to fit into this universe, and I don't have an issue. Well, I don't know how I feel because I feel like the way it did it, it didn't really hit, like the universe didn't hinder the story. Like it still felt like its own thing, but I just thought it would have been better if it just would have like cut ties with everything and really tried to pave its own path. But then
as it should
it
have.
like
Yeah,
yeah, and then like you get an hour into the film and it's like, oh well, we're also a part of this, and then it goes back and it's like, well, because when you introduce that, it's like a half baked introduction, anyways, because it doesn't really explain anything. They're just like, oh, we're weapons. That's messed up, man. We're gonna have to fight back.
did you
And it's like,
feel? Did it feel like a movie though, or did it feel like a superhero movie?
I mean, it felt like a TV made for TV movie, just with
Yeah,
like visual effects that you'd see. Like the visual effects they were whatever. I mean, they were all right, but um,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's just the way that I could best describe it. It did feel like a made for TV movie. I
Well, when
will
you
say this, Birdo was my favorite character. He's got
Bert,
some awesome lines. He's
Birdo,
just
like
like a Chad
he's just like a mutant. He's like the Iceman
of X2.
of
Birdo, he was like a fire dude, I
uh,
guess. I don't know. Some of the people in there, their abilities are really funny. Like Maisie Williams, she just kind of like turns into a dog or like a wolf or something.
it's like,
And then, yeah.
dude, that's some sky high shit. Like,
Yeah, but it's not even. I mean, I don't think it's. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I don't
yeah,
hate it, but I don't think it's like something that.
I
I
mean,
don't know. It's
I mean,
not great either,
so
but.
think about it this way though, like in a lot of ways, like it went from being a movie that was going to be instantly forgettable to a movie that is
That was
instant
never gonna come out.
that was never going to come out to be something that is still instantly forgettable, but was the first major studio release
Yeah, I mean,
in the U.S. You know, I mean,
no
you
one's gonna
know,
talk about it. I can guarantee. Me and you are the only people. Well, I mean,
I've heard people make jokes about it, like
yeah,
Maisie Williams on Twitter making fun of how bad it is.
yeah. I mean,
But
I would like to see what the original idea is because I think the idea of like an X-Men styled horror film is really interesting, and when those aspects kind of pop up in the movie, they are the most interesting part of it.
well, I mean,
So
that's what
I'd like
I
to see Josh Boone's what he originally had,
What has
but
Josh Boone
let
directed other
me.
than New Mutants? Like,
That's a great question.
I
Let me
have a
see.
feeling
I
it's
think he
like
did. Was it Cop Car? I might be thinking of someone else.
I do want to see Cop Car. That looks like some a fun time with the
Oh,
buds.
that does look. It does look interesting. He
Wait, this,
did. Wait, what did he direct though? The Fault in Our Stars. That was his.
oh boy, I
And
haven't
a
seen.
movie called Stuck in Love, which I've never heard of.
So they watched the Fault in Our Stars, and they were like, "Yeah, this guy should direct an X-Men
The
movie."
horror film.
Yeah, a horror film.
Yeah,
That's-
I don't know. Like I said, I wish again. It's just like they just need to learn to trust. I mean, it doesn't like. I think in terms of like Fox, they need to kind of like trust their people. But it's whatever. You can't let them go too crazy, but also like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think in that case, it would have worked if they just would have let him carry on with his vision, because it's not like it would have been a terribly expensive movie. It's
yeah,
all set in like one location. Besides the visual effects, that probably would have been the most expensive thing. But you don't have any big name actors.
well, I mean, I don't know.
We were joking about Deadpool showing up, but he never did.
That would be horrible.
Yeah,
In
it
the
would have
best
fun.
way.
I thought they were literally like at the end of the movie, they're all walking away like out of the facility, and I was like, watch them just fucking end up at the manor. And I was like, if they do, it would have been funny if Xavier would have like rolled out of the manor and was like, come here. But I guess to give. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying they dust off Patrick Stewart.
They have like a little clay mold of him, and they just like only show the back of his head, and they push him out into frame.
I want to say they did that in like, I don't know, in Deadpool 2. I feel like they did that. I don't know. I think they just went to the X-Men. They were just
they did. They were filming. Would it have been Dark? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Dark Phoenix was
dog shit.
whatever as well. Yeah. I guess to give my final kind of thoughts on it, the writing was pretty bad too. Like they're all there for the same reason. Like they couldn't think of a better reason. Like not the same reason, but if you break it down, it's got their past has like two major things. They discover their power, and their power kills someone, so now they're at this facility. That's like, and it's crazy because it was like that for every character, and you're like with Maisie Williams' character, you're like, okay, well, she just like ran off, like she didn't kill anyone, and then she's like, oh, but I killed the priest that beat me, and it was like, well, you couldn't think of anything else, like I don't know.
Did you see the thing? Did they
Sorry,
do? I heard. No, it's no problem. I'm happy. Like yet again, like you're giving our 6 listeners valid information.
What they want to hear.
Yeah. What they want to hear, and if they want to go see this this movie that's been so anticipated. But I was just gonna say I heard something like maybe like a month ago or so that like. The dialogue, like they have like one of those like monologues where it's like inside of you there are 2 wolves, like type.
Yeah. So the film opens and it opens and ends with that monologue.
Are you kidding me?
They tie it into like Native American folklore. So they're like the girl that the film is centered on. I forgot her name. Shoot, yeah, I forgot her name. But
Anya Taylor-Joy's character, or is it Maisie?
No, she's like a Russian side character. She's Russian. It's weird. And then Charlie R. Heaton from Stranger Things, he's like got a country accent. I can't tell if I couldn't tell if I thought it was funny or if I don't know. It was whatever, but I'm not trying to discredit his acting because I do like him as an actor, but I don't know how I feel about his performance. But where was like, oh yeah, so she opens it up. She's like, inside of you have 2 bears. You have a white bear and a black bear, essentially. And the older you get, the bigger the black bear gets because it represents fear.
Oh.
And so they tried to do something with it, but then.
That's like a meme. That's like literally a meme.
Funny. Her reservation is getting like attacked by something, and you can't really tell what it is. And so her father's like, hey, wake up, come on, we need to go. And then they get out and they run into like the forest and it's snowing. And
Mm,
then he puts her in like a tree, like in a hollow tree, and he's like, hide, like stay here. And then it like does a close up of her face, and then it does like a reverse shot of like her looking at the ground, and then the dad just like flops bloody like right in front of her like point of view.
yeah.
And then she like goes like ah, and then and then she just like runs away. And it's like, well, I thought you would have been more like I don't know, like terrified that you just saw your father die.
Yeah,
But
I
that's a
mean,
nitpick. Like that's not really like that's a nitpick. But I just thought it was
yeah,
funny.
stay tuned for Fulton's 30-minute video where he's gonna break down every detail and why the film is
It's yeah,
objectively bad.
yeah.
It's gonna be
It's called
really
Everything Wrong with the New Mutant.
yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Yeah.
The nostalgia
Sorry.
critic's gonna be there too.
He's gonna give me a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
I
Um,
gotta... That would be nice.
so I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll go. I may go see it
I
just
mean,
like just out of curiosity for going
yeah.
back to the movies. But I honestly do want to see that. I'd rather see that unhinged movie with Russell
Now
Crowe.
that one does look interesting. I saw a trailer for a movie that it looks really funny, and it's called Greenland. It's Gerard Butler's new film.
Oh yes.
Have you heard about it?
No.
Oh,
I.
dude, so like the plot is like Gerard Butler, of course, is he's the dad, right? And then like
Mhm.
there's like this meteor that's coming down, and then like the meteor gets split into like multiple chunks, and it's like just hitting Earth, and it's like destroying the environment and like ruining everything. And then he's like got to get his family to a bunker, but like the whole like all of them like the whole world's going insane. It looks funny to me.
Wait,
It could probably be bad, but
wasn't Gerard Butler in Geostorm too, which is like
yes,
kind of a
the same
similar. Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
It's the same.
exactly.
I mean, like I don't, Gerard Butler is one of those dudes that I don't know. I just look at him and I
I
don't know.
mean, how could you not after Gamer and
I've yet to see Gamer, but I've always wanted to.
yeah,
Um,
Gamer rocks.
I saw that trailer and then the new trailer for Morbius,
Oh
and
yes,
yeah, Michael Keaton's gonna be in it.
awesome. I'm so happy he's
They're get
returning to
yeah
superhero movie.
they're building out that Spider-Man villain cinematic universe, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I heard Olivia Wilde got signed on to be work on on a standalone Spider-Man movie with Sony.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, we didn't cover that last time. I'm trying to think of what else has happened in between.
Well,
Bill and Ted 3 comes out, I guess
it's
today.
out,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
So
so
maybe you'll hear that next week.
yeah,
Not as the main film, but in the news section.
yeah, we're doing all three as the main. Yeah, no. Um,
Yeah.
but like yeah, I know. I mean, we may watch that and talk about it next episode. Then there's also that on HBO Max. There's a new documentary about Action Park, which is I'm definitely excited to check out.
Action Park.
Action Park was
Yes.
it was like a water park slash like amusement park in
Okay,
New
so I was
Jersey,
thinking of Action Point, the
which is
movie
based
that
off
is
of
yeah.
yeah, which
Okay.
nobody watch Action Point, horrible
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I can't
I haven't
believe I
seen it
saw
yet.
that opening weekend, but if you Jackass, then they don't do any stunts in this movie, and God forbid Johnny Knoxville, he's completely destroyed his body because of Jackass, but he does not do a lot of stunts, and I think Chris Pontius was in it too, and
Yeah, he
similarly,
was.
yeah.
I remember seeing him in the trailer. Maybe
Uh-huh.
one day we'll do our Jackass retrospective.
Oh yes, I would love
And
to.
and again, I'll bring up why I think that the films. What did I say last time? They were humble, or
they're wholesome.
wholesome. Yeah, wholesome. There we go.
Yeah,
They
we should.
truly are. A bunch of friends just hanging out on the road.
Just a bunch of dudes rocking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, maybe we should just title this podcast 43 Dudes Rock, because we only have males.
This is true.
Yeah.
We're gonna we'll try to do our female and women outreach.
Yeah. I guess another thing that I remember is the New York Times did the
Criterion thing.
yeah, they did the Criterion thing where they
Yeah.
highlighted.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I hadn't realized that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was surprised as well that, I think the headline was like, there are more people with the last name Anderson in the Criterion Collection than black filmmakers, and it's like, wow, you're right. And I mean, like,
Mm-hmm.
I've heard people talk about like the underrepresentation of like animated films in the collection, because there's really only
Mm-hmm.
three. There's Watership Down, Fantastic Planet, and Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yeah, I guess they'll get Isle of Dogs, but that still doesn't really help with diversifying it.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like,
I
they're
know.
gonna get it. Like,
It's
there's
disgusting. Wes Anderson, just how does he get that deal? Renting out crap and still getting put in the collection. But anyways, yeah, they definitely need a lot more black filmmakers, and it's disappointing that they don't have more. Although
I'm surprised they haven't done. I mean, at the end of the day, it does. Some of it gets tied up in legal stuff, where who has the distribution rights, but I would have thought they would have had more Spike Lee. I'm sure there's
only two.
You know more than I do.
Bamboozled and Do the Right Thing, but yeah, I'm looking forward to I don't know, like, there's a lot of Spike Lee that probably needs a proper release. I mean, Kino Lorber's been doing some of them, like, I don't know, Jungle Fever, but like, I don't know, there's still a lot that I think would be good in there. And then also just a lot of blaxploitation stuff, like Melvin Van Peebles and stuff. Rudy Ray Moore would be a good one. But yeah, like, I think To Sleep with Anger came out a few maybe like last year or 2 years ago, and that was like one of the, I don't know, like the second or third black filmmaker. But yeah, it's like for them to get something like Moonlight relies on them. Like, I don't know, they don't have a relationship with A24 as of yet.
I don't know. I don't really want them to have a relationship with A24, but I don't want to gatekeep or anything.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, but Moonlight would be a good one. I mean, because
yeah, no, I didn't mean it in terms of, that sounds weird. I meant it in terms of, like, I mean, I don't, honestly, at this point, I don't see why they don't just try to strike up a deal with A24, because it's essentially, it shares like a similar audience.
Oh yeah,
there's just a ton of like people that just watch A24, like they just solely watch A24 films, and they're like, yeah, this is
cinema.
This is actually cinema right here. And then, which I'm not shitting on A24, don't get me wrong. I think there is a reason that they are so popular, is because they do have a pretty consistent track record with.
I mean, they're the
good movies.
They're the Miramax of the 2010s and now 2020s. Like,
I
I don't
do think
know.
it's funny how when they make a bad film, they just kind of like brush it under the rug.
Yeah, like
They're
under
just
the
like,
Silver Lake,
yeah,
Under the Silver Lake is
yeah.
like,
But that was me and you have talked about that. That was BS. That movie should have gotten the attention it deserved, but
yeah, like I mean
it's whatever.
that's by far probably my favorite thing that they've done. I don't know.
Like, I think of like I haven't seen it, but Slice, The Blackcoat's Daughter, there's like they do have a track record of just kind of taking their less
Yeah,
or their yeah, but their
I didn't
lesser
see
films.
Slice.
It looked interesting. I
Yeah, it
was
looked
excited, and then it just
interesting.
kind of came out and with no word.
I think Chance the Rapper's in it.
Hmm.
But Black Hood's Daughter was actually pretty good horror. I'd
Yeah,
recommend.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
But
Well, I guess we can. Is there
move
any other
on.
news? Yeah.
I can't really think of anything. I guess. There's a really good video that you guys should check out of Tom Cruise that he posted on his official Twitter, where he's going to the premiere of Tenet in Paris, I believe. And he just goes to the theater. He shows up, and then he claps, and then he goes, "I loved it, great film." And I'm like, "That's it." And it's very like it's like a good bit. Seem like reality, and it's like something.
Why Tenet? Why, like, why would I? I don't know. It isn't. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That it was. It was to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we can take our ad break really quick.
Okay.
Do 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 do. So I'm just gonna end the recording, and then we'll just hop back in.
Okay.
Okay, so we are back from our ad break.
We are.
We
are
did
indeed. We did it, guys.
Great ad read. Awesome.
Tenet.
Tenet, New Mutants.
Okay, so Ivan's Childhood is a 1962 movie by Andrei Tarkovsky, and it was his first film, actually.
Which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, well, it wasn't actually his film at first. It was somebody else's.
Mm-hmm.
And
is it Edward Abelov? I'm probably butchering that reading, but I was just looking at directors, and there's an uncredited man. That was his name.
Yeah, Edward Abelov. Yeah, because apparently, like, it just wasn't. They didn't like it. Mosfilm didn't like the original cut of the movie, and I don't think the USSR government it didn't either. So they brought on Tarkovsky, and so basically, before.
Do you know did any footage from the original make it into Tarkovsky's cut?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure. But before we just go into discussion, we're going to. I'm just gonna kind of set the stage and just kind of give kind of
context.
Like, I don't know. Yeah. So it's about a child, an orphan, and named Ivan, and
named Terry.
And so it's World War II, and his parents are killed, and his whole family's killed, and it's just kind of about more of like the people on the ground in the USSR, and like what they had to deal with during the war, and like more of that aspect, and through the eyes of a child. So yeah, what did you think? Well, first of all, you hadn't seen any other Tarkovsky, right?
I saw Solaris.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, funny enough,
which I really like Solaris.
So you saw Solaris. I haven't seen Solaris, but I've seen Stalker.
Stalker is high on my list as well, but I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, the but what were your impressions? Like, what did you think of this film? Like, and what did you notice, or like, I don't know, what did you get thematically out of this?
Thematically, I was so I guess just with my general, I really enjoyed it, but I'm still trying to figure it out in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was mainly kind of getting confused on what Ivan's like, what he really wanted to do, I guess. So, like, what his purpose was within the film. Because it opens up, and I really like that dream sequence. And I actually really like all the dream sequences throughout the film, especially the apple scene. Um,
Yeah.
I thought
Well, it's
that
definitely
was,
the
yeah,
most, well, like,
visually, like,
or
mhm,
the most Tarkovsky, or later Tarkovsky esque,
mhm,
definitely is like the dream stuff, and that part where where he's like walking through that, like, war torn village, and he runs
mhm,
into that guy that's waiting for his wife. That
mhm,
reminded me a lot of like Stalker, and like the direction that Tarkovsky kind of went later in his films, because for the most part, like, this movie is pretty straightforward as far as like how he how Tarkovsky at least operated in Stalker, or
mhm,
in his other movies, just from hearing. But actually, I want to plug my friend Cash. He I run a blog with some other I'm part of, like, I'm a part of board of editors with some other friends, and we do this thing called Scrolls on Cinema, and we write, pieces every week, like five a week, and we have a podcast, and Cash, my friend, wrote a really good Tarkovsky kind of breakdown this week of all eight of his movies, and so I'd highly
mhm.
recommend uh, to check that out. We can paste the link somewhere, but
Yeah,
it
we
gives
can
a
put
pretty
it in the
good
description.
rundown of like where he sits, and like how his ideology and how his filmmaking kind of evolved between like this and Andrei Rublev, which
Mhm,
I probably butchered, and Solaris and Stalker and Sacrifice, Mirror, Nostalgia, all of them.
mhm.
And yeah, so what else? Well,
Um,
well,
yeah, and then I got, yeah, you were saying?
well, I was just gonna say that it's hard to like not compare this to Come and See in some ways,
Oh yeah,
which,
I mean it reminded me a lot of it. I don't know. I'm assuming
yeah,
this one
like
came
20 years
first.
early, more
Yeah,
than 20 years
because that was
earlier.
the '80s. Yeah.
Mm,
Um.
yeah.
Well, it also reminded me of there was a movie that came out in 2015 called Childhood of a Leader, and I think the director took inspiration from Tarkovsky. His name is Brady Corbett. And
Hmm.
while I don't I like Childhood of a Leader. I love the score. This is a little like side thing.
Yeah.
But he directed Vox Lux, but Childhood of a Leader was his first one. But
Oh,
they
okay.
do,
Yeah.
watching this now, you can kind of see some similarities of it, and it's interesting to see how children are portrayed in both these films because they both want to be, at the front with all the soldiers and everything, and it's kind of interesting. To me, what I took out of the film is like how war changes people. So you
Yeah,
have like
it's
the ultimate sign of innocence in Ivan, and you're reminded of that through his dream sequences of him. I'm assuming playing with his sister. Is that his
yeah,
sister? Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So like visions of his mother playing with his sister, and then you kind of have which I'm now realizing, that scene in the well. It's kind of that, I would say that like the natural curiosity of a kid, of him trying to find the star in the water, and then all
Yeah, in the
that
well.
curiosity is immediately taken away from him, with his mother dying, and then that kind of sends him
Yeah,
down the path of becoming a soldier. So he's not really able to have,
it's like a
yeah,
force. It's like forced upon him, which is like
hmm
different from like in Come and See, where Flora is more like,
he seeks it out.
yeah, he seeks it out
Yeah.
because he thinks it's like, obviously, like he thinks it's like a noble cause, but also like the mature thing to do.
hmm
Where then he ends up becoming forced into it due to the realities of the war. But Ivan is like
hmm
more like, doesn't ask for it, and it just happens. And
hmm
um, but however, this movie kind of, the exploration of war through the eyes of a child, I think is a really good way to like just kind of promote a very strong anti-war message, due to just like, like how children are synonymous with like innocence and stuff. and
hmm
and it's like, it's very much like a just a real gut punch to like just watch as these children are, right, like Ivan is just forced to mature, and like at like 12, like.
Yeah,
And
like
so
it's insane. I'm surprised the USSR signed off on. I guess they didn't really like pay attention to it, but I wouldn't say. Hmm, I was gonna
what.
say it's got strong anti-war themes throughout of it. I mean, it's obviously wrong that this kid has to go through it, and then the ending, like, yeah, I do love the ending. I love how it was shot and everything with the whirling camera, and then you kind of see, shoot, what's his name, uh Gatzlov, was that his name? He was like the
uh
younger of the three
oh
generals.
yeah, yeah,
I thought that was interesting how he kind of walks through Ivan's last moments, and to me, when that dream sequence comes up during those moments, that was, I could be wrong. This is kind of how I interpreted it, but that was kind of what he was imagining in his last moments as well. And it was kind of that he doesn't really have to struggle anymore because he is at a place of peace now.
yeah.
And,
That's very, very true.
mhm,
And it's like, looking this up after, like the people the Russia, or the USSR in general, in World War II,
mhm,
lost the most amount of
yeah.
people, like compared to like any other country.
Mhm,
I believe that around over 1/10 of their population was killed by World War II. And
mhm,
and it's just like a lot, like I like that, Tarkovsky is able to shine a light on this, because I mean, us as Americans obviously think of it from a different perspective of how it affected the US, but you have to, like, there's just so many other countries that were affected
involved.
by,
Yeah.
that are involved and affected by the war. And so this, and yeah, Come and See with Belarus, uh, are able to portray the horrors of that perspective of things, and what the Germans did.
Mhm.
So yeah, uh,
It also, well, I don't want to say it reminds me of, but have you seen Europa Europa?
I still have to get around to
Yeah,
Europa Europa.
that one's also very, very good in portraying the horrors of war and everything,
Mhm.
through the eyes of a younger protagonist.
Yeah,
I guess also off the gate, I've I've seen the shot so many times, just like, like all the cinema, I guess, fan pages on Instagram, they always
yeah.
post it, but him holding the girl over the trench. But I
Oh
just kind of
yeah.
wanted to like talk about how beautiful the cinematography is because it.
Oh
I mean,
yes.
it happens with all Tarkovsky films. Tripping over my words, but
Yeah.
it all of his films are very like breathtaking, and I really liked how he kind of played around with the black and white imagery, especially in the moments where Ivan is, I guess, at their I don't know how to describe it, but when he's in like their trench little room, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what you would call it, but
Like
it's very
bunker, I
dim and
guess.
dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, their bunker, and I really liked how he kind of played with the nightmare aspects of that and kind of drifting in between nightmare and dream
And
and yeah.
and on top of that, like yeah, like he just does a lot with like yeah, with like the black and white and how
Which I really appreciate.
and I honestly don't think I can see it any other way. Like I mean like there's
Yeah.
definitely movies where you watch it and it's in black and white and you're like, yeah, this could be in color. I probably wouldn't care. Or vice
hmm
versa. But like I really felt like this movie had to be in black and white, like a
hmm
Casablanca or like
Or like Mad Max Fury Road.
or like Mad Max Fury Road or Logan or
Or Logan.
Parasite.
Yeah.
um, but
Yeah.
like yeah, and like I think that personally Tarkovsky wasn't very proud of this movie. I want to say that I
hmm
remember hearing that he didn't really like the direction that it went, and I think I can understand why, just based
hmm
on how he went ideologically, or how he made how ideologically his other movies are, and how this is um, more of a story that he really didn't have a lot of. He didn't have
Connection
a
to.
lot. Yeah, well, he didn't have a lot of control over. It was more just like, hey, you're a film student, or you just graduated from film school. We really liked your short. They saw Mosfilm, um, the production company saw his short, which I still have to watch. Like the Steamroller and the Violin, which is like a 40-minute short film that
hmm
he made. I think it's like a graduate project or something,
Yeah.
and they liked it, and they said you can work on this movie if you want. So yeah,
Well, I mean, I've always looked at debut features to always be kind of like a foot in the door, So I try not to be too harsh on them because I think what it does best is it kind of showcases where they'll go. Um,
oh yeah, definitely.
so I think this film definitely. I mean, I
Oh, it's
don't
a
really think he has too much to be ashamed of, but I can understand.
well, usually
You
the
know,
people that are the hardest on the things that they create are the creators themselves,
yeah,
and I
true,
guess in a
true.
lot of ways there's something humbling about that, um, even if it's irrational
hmm
in some ways, like you don't want you don't want to be like the guy that's just like that thinks that what you make is like the best thing like
hmm
ever,
Yeah,
um but yeah.
like the Oasis boys.
Oh,
It's fucking legendary. It's awesome. Um, yeah. I'm trying to think of other stuff that I kind of. That hey,
hey, what's up?
nothing much. Okay. Um, where were I was trying to think of other things about the film that we could say. Was there anything else that you wanted to kind of talk about?
um I don't know. I mean, like, I guess I want to ask you, like, what do you
hmm
think is your next Tarkovsky that you want to check
Um,
out?
well, the ones that I have physically, I have Stalker on my Criterion, but I am like highly considering during the next sale picking up the other ones. I think it's only
There's only 3 right
yeah
now.
on
That on
so
Blu-ray at least.
yeah. So I'd pick up
But on the
uh
channel, all 8 of them are available. So
oh,
no,
okay.
yeah. So you can.
Yeah,
I really want to watch The Sacrifice, which is his
I do
last
too.
movie. That's
Yeah.
probably next up. I've heard that that was he actually left Russia
Mhm.
because of creative differences with the government over his filmmaking and went to Italy, and that was where he did Nostalgia and The Sacrifice before
Mhm.
dying of cancer, because he shot Stalker, and everybody that
Yeah.
worked on it got really weird cancers from filming in a power plant.
Which is very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, but
Yeah.
literally died for what he
Yeah.
died for his craft.
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to. I didn't know all of them were on Criterion Channel.
Mhm.
But I was probably gonna say The Sacrifice too. But I have Stalker physically, and then I've also always wanted to see Andrei Rublev.
Well, like I
But it's
really,
a commitment.
it is indeed.
Yeah.
But I've heard like, well, like what I really like is how he kind of delves into religious topics. Like I think that Stalker is a very religious film, and
Hmm.
I think that you can do religion in movies in a really good way, as long as it's not
Hmm.
like ham-fisted, um, and
Yeah.
it feels
Like
more
he
genuine.
obviously inspired God's Not Dead and God's Not
Yeah.
Dead 2 and God's Not Dead 3.
Well, the Pure
So
Flix, Pure Flix actually is their main inspiration is Tarkovsky.
Tarkovsky.
They're a big fan of Russian cinema.
I guess speaking of Tarkovsky really quickly, I do want to see Steven Soderbergh's remake of he did the
Solaris.
Solaris remake. Yeah, remake
Yeah,
and
yeah.
which
Um,
I
yeah.
don't think I love me
That
some
would be a
Steven
fun
Soderbergh.
future episode, and watch both
Yeah,
Solarises and
and kind of compare them.
yeah, you could
Yeah, I'd be down.
I mean like it's I don't know what to expect. I mean like Soderbergh is a very competent, good director that can do a lot of
Hmm.
things, and has done a lot of things, and yeah, I'm
Hmm.
curious like what spin
He's
he
got
gives it.
consistency too.
Yeah, definitely. I can't think of a Soderbergh movie that I've seen that I really disliked.
Hmm. I just watched Schizopolis. I don't know. I liked it, but I don't know how to feel about it. But it throws a lot to the wall. I'll say
mm,
that. It might be something we could review
yeah,
in a
yeah.
later episode.
I
But there was one thing, and then yeah, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like his I don't know if you saw High Flying Bird, the one that he did last year that he shot on an iPhone, which is the
I
second time that he's done that.
Yeah, I saw Unsane, and I really enjoyed Unsane. I thought it was
Unsane,
fun.
Unsane work. I think Unsane it worked better with the
Hmm.
iPhone because of just like the whole like mental illness kind of like create like aspect of the movie. Um,
Yeah.
but as far as like how the film looked, and it looked very flat and like kind of like it didn't look like a conventional film, and so it
Hmm.
kind of took you out of things. But I don't know, High Flying Bird I was kind of on. That's probably
I
the one
want to
that I.
see the Laundromat. His other. See, I'm just not too big on sports movies, but I have been meaning to check it out just because I do enjoy Steven Soderbergh so
I
much.
mean, you've seen Air Bud, so right? You know. Yeah.
Wasn't there? Okay, I'm gonna get. There's. We forgot to talk about the Batman trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't think me and you have talked about it
I don't
yet.
think we have.
Hmm.
I actually didn't watch it because I
Hmm.
don't like I don't really want to, I guess, fully. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid spoilers for it
Hmm.
because I'm like the new Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah,
I kind of want to go in
I'd
as
say
blind as
steer away
possible.
from that. I started watching it and I was like, no, it's telling too much, and so I stopped like one third way through.
Yeah, I mean, are you?
Um.
I mean, like I kind of looked at. I saw how it like looks and
Mhm.
stuff from pictures. And I think that what's his face?
Robert Pattinson.
No, not Robert Pattinson, the
Oh, Colin
director,
Farrell. Oh, Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves. I think he definitely uh, did a good job with making things look uh, like I don't know, like grim and brooding, and
Hmm.
but not making it like Snydery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm excited if they if they do something good with it.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, I checked out all the trailers the the first day of the DC fandom thing just because I was really curious.
You think you mean
Um,
DC fandom?
oh boy, yeah, there is, Suicide Squad is. I just thought it was really funny because in the Suicide Squad trailer, they were like, there's literally not a better director to handle the Suicide Squad than James Gunn.
Yeah, it's like
And I was like, what if I want to see David Ayer's reaction to that.
yeah,
He's like sheds a tear. He's like, what?
my baby, my project, my passion project. Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
and then like also like I don't know, I'm kind of sick of James Gunn. I like he's fine, but like it's like
Hmm.
one of those. It's like similar to like to me at least to like how like what happened to like Peter Jackson, where like
Hmm.
everything that I liked about Peter Jackson. No, not I like Lord of the Rings, but like all the cool things about Peter Jackson were
Hmm.
before the Lord of the Rings, and then after Lord of the Rings, I feel like he kind of lost a lot of that just because he worked in bigger things. I like
Hmm.
King Kong, but it doesn't have that like. And James Gunn was kind of came from a similar way of like making
Yeah.
like these like I don't know, just like exploitation-y type movies, like
Hmm.
working with like Trauma and doing like their stuff. And then like that movie Slither is pretty fun, as far as horror movies go. And
Hmm.
Super was pretty all right. But then he did Guardians of the Galaxy, and so now he has this like big name recognition, and I don't think he's gonna ever go back to like that. And I don't think Suicide Squad's gonna be like that either. Not that I really care about Suicide Squad
Yeah.
anyway,
I
but
mean, my
yeah.
anticipation is not through the roof. I like. I mean, in terms of Marvel movies, I like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I'm not a big fan of Marvel films. Um, but I enjoyed the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought the second one didn't really have. I don't know. I didn't like the second one as much as the first one. I thought it kind of suffered from. All right, well, let's put jokes in here so it doesn't get too dark, um, which hindered it. But what was I gonna say? There's a great video by Patrick H. Williams on YouTube, and I think it is very similar to what you're talking about. And he goes through Robert Zemeckis's whole filmography,
Hmm.
and he kind of shows like how when he got big, um, he always liked to experiment with different toys and stuff and like filmmaking techniques, and then it became too much, and then now he's kind of like to a point where he doesn't know how to get back, right? It's
Oh
been a while
yeah.
since I've seen the video, so he explained it very well, and I think he was saying that like he has the potential to go back and do stories that are within his realm that he really works with. He just hasn't done it yet. which I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been a while, but I think it's interesting to see directors that have something that's really special, and then they reach that level of notoriety, and then they kind of seem to lose it. But I don't know. Like that's what's got me a little. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Quentin Tarantino too much, but I can. I just will say that like.
That he's the best director ever.
I guess I was going to talk about Once Upon a Time, but that's for like another episode. It's not like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I guess you move on, you lose. I mean, you want to see. I mean, we're not necessarily talking about like your Jean-Luc Godards of the world or your Tarkovsky, but even as you still like as you get older and you're a filmmaker, you have your taste evolve, and not if you're. I mean, everyone does that, so you want to make different kinds of movies, which is fine. But yeah, it is kind of a shame to see, and like Zemeckis definitely had an interesting turn because he was like, "Oh, I'm really into like." I'm really into
3D.
disgusting 3D animation that looks incredibly ugly. And like, that's cool. And then he went back to making live action stuff. He did on Flight, which came and went. And
I didn't see that. I saw Sully. I didn't see Allied. I wanted to. But...
Well, Sully was a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, I know that. It just reminds me so similar.
Yeah.
Like, I guess to wrap up.
I do actually have one thing.
Yeah.
Werner Herzog's new documentary, Nomad, is streaming now.
Is that the Apple TV Plus one?
No.
Or is that his next one?
No, it's I think this one's like on. I want to say it's on like a movie or something like. But yeah, if you want to watch a new documentary from one of the great filmmakers, a man who has done it all, narrative and documentary, then that would be a good weekend watch. So you got three options this week for new releases, other than the New Mutants. At your house, you got Nomad, you got Action Park, the Action Park documentary, and you got Bill and Ted Face the Music if you want to drop $20.
And I'm thinking of ending because this will be coming out on Monday. So at the end of the week, you'll have. I'm thinking of ending things.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a quick thing. I am excited about the Batman. I love Robert Pattinson. I'm trying to coin him as America's sweetheart, and so I'm gonna keep trying.
But he's British.
Yeah. No. Listen. It doesn't matter. He's the world's sweetheart. There we go. I'm slowly working through my Robert Pattinson marathon, so that's why Tenet is crucial.
I do want to hear a little bit about how that journey's been.
It's been all right. we can save that for the news segment of next week if you want to.
Okay. I'm excited for you to watch Remember Me.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited, man. You've got no idea. I've seen the ending clip and I was like, yeah, no, this is I've only got I've got a few, I think it's like around 10 left, I think.
Okay.
But I've seen a few like the Childhood of a Leader.
I mean, I gotta. I mean, I'm not. So I'm not that dedicated to the cause.
Hmm.
But I do want. There are some that I still haven't seen that I'd really like to check out, like Cosmopolis and Maps to
Yeah,
the
I'm super
Stars.
excited.
So
Yeah,
both
I
the
have both of
Cronenbergs.
those. Yeah, I've watched, according to Letterboxd, 25%, but they have a ton of shorts in there that
Yeah,
I
that are
haven't watched.
null and void.
Some of them are a little hard to find, but they're not too crazy. Like at most, I'll just have to order like a DVD. So
Yeah,
it won't be too bad. But like Rover, I'm excited to watch. The Haunted Airman looks funny. Little Ashes and Bellamy looks they look fun. And then The Devil All the Time, which is his new Netflix movie with Antonio Campos. Sorry, comes out like in 2 weeks. So
yeah, that's
there's
gonna be
he
good.
he has a very
That looks
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, I totally agree. He has an interesting track record. It's just interesting to watch him too, because he's a fun actor to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I do, but with I don't know, Joseph Gordon-Levitt movies, which I still haven't seen that new one that came out on Netflix. But
I s- yeah, I've seen a good bit of his movies. I feel like I don't know how
mm,
many I haven't watched. I think this would be a fun segment to do, like watching. It would be really hard because it's a ton of movies, but we could just pick like chunks of films that have one actor in it and just kind of discuss it for an
yeah,
episode or
definitely.
something.
Well, I think that does it for
That's
this
it.
week's episode. Next week we will be watching. Well, I don't know. What are we? I don't want to put you on the spot, but is our
Hmm.
main film going to be I'm Thinking About Ending Things, or is that going to be just something that we're going to talk about?
I mean, it could really be either because I think knowing Kaufman and hearing reviews, I think we could do 30 minutes on that.
Okay,
I mean,
yeah.
I did about 20 minutes on New Mutants, so I think I think we can get 30 minutes out of. Um, I'll knock on wood, but I think I'm cool to have that as our
All right.
one for next week.
Yeah,
So
so yeah, next week is I'm Thinking About Ending Things. So yeah, make sure to watch it or not
mhm.
before. I know that a
We'll
lot of
have
people,
a non-spoiler section, and
and
then
I mean, I
we'll
know a
have
lot of
spoilers.
people they base their opinions off of if we like the movie. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
But yeah,
We are like the Anthony Fantanas of the
of the
of the film world.
that's right. They're like, man, I really wonder how they'll receive the
New Mutants.
New Mutants. Which thank you for the sponsorship, Disney.
Yeah, it's an honor.
It's really an honor to. All right. Yeah. So
All
everybody.
right.
So yeah. I think that's it. So yeah. Don't
Have a
forget
good
to.
weekend and
Yeah.
stay safe, everyone. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, for sure. And watch Ivan's Childhood if you haven't. All right.
Alrighty. Goodbye.
Goodbye.